Hey, where have you been?
What? Yeah, where you been?
Don't bother me. Stop it. Leave me alone. Not today.
What are you listening to?
Yeah, what are you listening to?
It's none of your. It's none of your business.
What, you listen to some Barney or something? Because you know what?
Yes.
That makes me pretty mad.
Yeah, you know what? That makes me mad too. Get him.
You guys are so mean. Just leave me alone for one day.
Wait. You know what? I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna leave you alone.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave you alone.
I'm the biggest, baddest guy in town, and you know what? You're gonna pay.
Yeah, he is. Got him.
Stop it, guys. Just let me listen to my podcast by myself.
You know what? You better tell me what podcast that is, because you know what?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah, so do I. I need to know too, man.
Guys, it's just... I'm listening to Belt It Out.
Oh, snap.
Belt It Out?
Oh, that's totally rad.
You know what? You want to get some pizza rolls?
Yeah, you want some pizza rolls?
I mean, my mom microwaves some pretty mean pizza rolls if you guys want to come over.
You know what? It's a pretty good idea, man.
Yeah, it's a good idea, man. Oh my God.
What up, guys? It's your favorite podcast. Belt It Out. And, you know, like we introduced ourselves, as always, I'm Cameron Belt.
And I'm Connor Belt.
And then we have our very good friend, dare I say my best friend. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, sir.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I missed my cue.
We're nailing it. We're nailing it, man.
Hello. I'm Andrew Lauto, and I am Cameron's best friend.
Andrew Lauto.
Yes, sir.
That's all you need to know. I mean, we're pretty much done with the podcast.
Pretty much done.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Best guest. Podcast history.
Andrew Lauto. Huh?
I said we have the best guest in podcast history. Am I cutting out?
No, we do.
Come on. You're too kind. You're too kind.
That's what I'm saying.
Who needs Elon Musk when you got Andrew Lauto?
Oh,
Boom.
please.
Dude,
hey.
Seriously, though? Like, have you ever seen Elon Musk on a podcast? He's actually kind of boring.
Well, nobody actually sees anybody on a podcast because...
Typically not.
Podcast.
That's true.
Yeah.
So...
He's got a good point.
That's true. Okay. Have you ever heard of Elon Musk? Because he's very boring.
He's pretty awkward. He's kind of an awkward guy.
There's a lot of dead time there.
Yeah.
See, watch him listen to this, and then he's gonna like buy our podcast for like $40 billion.
I'll take it.
Fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Buy me out.
I'll take it.
Cool beats.
Just start a new one.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, we have Andrew Lauto. Andrew and I mean, Connor's in this too, but Connor's just for a while. Connor was the little brother who just kind of tagged along. Sometimes.
Wait a minute.
No, but all three of us have
going.
quite the history together.
Yes, we do.
What? But Andrew and I, we met a long time ago.
Jeez,
yeah. What? We were, let's see, 14?
Yeah, because you moved to Buffalo. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. Go Bills. And yeah, you guys moved to Buffalo. What year?
2009, I believe.
Yes.
No.
That's when we moved out.
We moved away. Yeah, we moved away from Buffalo 2009. It was 2006.
You were only there for 3 years?
Yeah, I know. It seemed like forever. It seemed like
years.
such a huge part of our life. Like
it really did.
I don't know. It's weird because our friendships were so strong there, it felt like something you had to have built over like decades.
Yeah,
But like
it's true.
it's so weird. I think that's part of why I do miss Buffalo is because the people that we met there, the friendships were just so strong, you know?
Yeah, it really did seem like you were there for a lot longer than you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met in 2006. I don't know. Do you want to tell them the story? I know you like telling people the story
About how we met.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. So we went to this church, and your dad came aboard as the youth pastor, and you guys were just new to the youth group and stuff, and I already had an established friend group there. Like, I was like, all right, these are my people. Yeah, these are my people, and there's these new guys who came. I think because you lived in Indiana, then you went to Michigan, and then back to Indiana, and then to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, these guys from Indiana, they're like, they're new guys, but like, and I didn't want to make the effort in middle school to like make new friends because I had like all these established friends. So
of course, yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I had a birthday party coming up, and my mom, we were driving home from church, and my mom was like, you should invite that nice boy Cameron to your birthday party because he's new and he needs to be invited. And I'm like, I literally said this. I said, Mom, I don't want to invite that Cameron guy to my birthday party because he's tall and weird. And she gave me the classic mom, like, you better invite him to your birthday party right now.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So I did, and we bonded literally because of movies and farts.
Yeah.
It's literally
Movies
how
and
our
farts.
friendship started. And then I met Connor through it, and Connor also liked movies and farts.
Yep.
And so we were just like, you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? This is this is a great
You know
friendship, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's freaking
And it just
awesome.
went on from there, and it was pretty cool because like, I know for me, well, both Connor and I, we were like making videos, nothing special, nothing nothing noteworthy, but we were
At the
making
time.
videos for a good while. Huh?
At the time, it was.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, I still enjoy
Some of
them,
those
but like,
yeah.
it's nothing that people are gonna watch and be like, we need them in Hollywood.
yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, to put it into perspective for our listening audience, it's especially for like the Gen Z generation, like the non-90s kids. We used to film on 8mm tapes. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Google it because 8mm tapes was all we had back then.
Yeah.
well, with yours we did the 8mm, and then with ours it was the mini DV tapes, but it taped nonetheless. And yeah, we even for a time there, our editing consisted of stopping the camera, rewinding it to where we wanted that scene to be
right.
cut, and
just
then start
taping over
filming
that
from
part.
there.
Yeah.
And then having a little
And yes.
iPod speaker next to the camera for your background music.
Yeah, for the music.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Either that or remember the boombox that
Or
we
a
had
full
at
on
my parents' house?
boombox.
Yep.
Yeah.
The full-on boombox with the CDs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got really good at timing, and had all that down.
I love it.
Yeah, but we like, Connor and I, we did our thing, and then we met you, and you were like, I want in on this, and we were like, heck yeah. So our time in Buffalo really consisted of us all making videos together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you would make videos in my basement, and you'd make videos, and we'd make videos in your room, and in my backyard, and, it was just.
Was it the first video? Was it Julia's science project? Was that what it was?
One
About
of the electricity
about
project.
electricity, and we straight up filmed that like on a VHS cam. It's like one of those.
Yeah, it was an
Cameras
8
where you-
millimeter. It was my dad's old
Yeah.
home video 8 millimeter. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really
That was the first
freaking
time.
archaic at this point.
Yeah.
That's a very
Yeah, and we
true
try
story.
to do the special effects like you get shocked by like plugging something in, and like we cut to a piece of paper with a picture of lightning on it, and then it just goes, and then like we painted your face and like spiked your hair like you were, and you're like, I'm not doing that again.
That's right. I'm not doing that
Yeah.
again. I remember
Yeah.
Mom's
Well-
part. Remember our mom she had a part in that video. And she had that short Karen cut going
The
on.
short hair.
Yeah.
And she went,
And she's
no,
like,
Connor.
No, Connor.
And then
what we would
freeze
do,
to
we
the
would try to
background.
make it like an infomercial type thing. So she would
Yeah.
like, you would do
Yeah.
the scene and then freeze, and then my sister
Yeah.
would come in and be like, "Don't
Yeah.
go to your electrical outlet." And, like,
I wish I could see that. Oh, man.
my sister found it. It's on some sort of 8 millimeter tape. And what's
Yes.
cool is I have to get I have to go find like a working VCR somewhere, but like I have the hookup to digitize those old tapes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna try to digitize it, and
Yeah, because we still
Bring
need
it on.
the action movies.
yes, that's the other thing we made was the action movies,
Yeah.
which was like
yeah.
what we thought was cool action, and
Well, it was here's the
comedic,
thing.
though.
Like
Yeah.
I at least me, I've always been a fan of like Airplane and like what was it, Top Secret, Hot Shots, stuff like that. So
Naked Gun.
like Naked Gun,
Yeah.
So like doing those spoof, like really stupid, funny videos were my thing, but we had like action included into that. And we did our movie and we're like, what should we call this? Or I say movie, it was like 5 minutes long. And I was like, what should we call this? And we're like, the action movie.
Action movie.
Because it's an action movie.
Yeah.
So that just that kind of throughout all of our other videos, that kind of became our series, you know.
yeah, because
Like,
of
we had developing
everything that's
characters.
out there that gets we develop characters, but everything that gets a sequel that shouldn't get a sequel, that got 2 sequels. So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, God willing, maybe another.
Maybe another.
well, see,
one of
that's the
these
thing,
days.
because for years now, since we're older and we have more experience in the field of video and filmmaking and stuff and storytelling in general, I feel like we can actually make it semi-high quality
Right.
with you know, because like I edit full time now, so like I'm an editor.
That's awesome.
And like we have, you don't have to have super fancy equipment to like make something look good. You just have to like know how to basically set up a good looking shot and just know how to storytell really well, you know. So we could, I really feel like after all these years we could actually make a 4th one and
I think we could.
and compare it to the other ones to be like, wow.
Oh yeah.
That'd be so
I don't
cool.
know. I need a
Personally, I feel like I've gone
yeah.
backwards. Personally.
Huh?
Me?
Gone backwards?
Yeah. Because I used to be so into like After Effects and just constantly.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've forgotten most
I know
of how to do all that, but man.
Well, and things
poor
have
little
advanced so
MacBook.
much. It's like, things have advanced so much that like, dear goodness, it's like the stuff that you were doing in After Effects. There's like apps out there now that you could do most of that stuff with.
It's true.
It's weird. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
and I mean, the thing is, like, even for me, like, I had to learn in my previous job, before the job I have now, I had to learn After Effects on a very basic surface level to do, like, on-screen graphics for, like, commercials and stuff. So, like, I literally, I felt like I learned a lot, but with how beefy After Effects actually is, like, you literally need to, like, be in it for like 5 years straight in front of a computer to actually like fully know. But I mean, like, it's a lot easier with now today's technology to learn because you got YouTube tutorials and all this. You don't have to like go to a class or get a big book and all that
Yeah.
stuff. You know, you just copy what other people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I remember starting off doing. Yeah.
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 So, going back to you know what, so I feel like I feel like we should explain the reference here. That was another one of our videos, and I feel like outside of the action movie, that was probably our like top video, really. And
Because we really planned that one out.
Uh-huh.
Like that was
We did.
What did we call that? We called that
Strudel
Strudel it out.
Strudel it out. That's
Yep.
right. And it was just a really basic. It was a really basic storyline about
Yeah.
these two guys in the backyard, and one guy was mad because he ate the last apple strudel, and they just did this epic fight scene. But then the cops came and arrested them,
Yeah.
and it was just ridiculous. But it was so much
Yeah.
fun, but we actually like put some thought into that. We didn't like randomly
We
put
did.
scenes together like the action movie. You know,
Right. Yeah. I know the action movie was just kind of like, all right, now what do we do?
Yeah,
Until we said, yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. Or, you know, our parents were like, all right, time to go home.
Uh-huh.
right?
I thought that was so fun though.
Yeah.
How you just create as you go, not really having a plan at all.
It is
Like
fun.
I'd love to do that
Yeah.
even now.
Right.
Just like not have an idea.
Yeah.
Just create as you go. It'd just be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Yeah. But let me, so one of the things that one of our fans, AKA our stepdad, AKA Russ,
Stepdad Russ.
Yeah,
That's what I
stepdad
call him.
Russ. He said, hey, because we asked people, what do you want us to talk about? One of the things he wanted us to talk about was what's our what do we feel is the most overrated musician or / band, and the most overrated movie. So I figured, since this is like, we're all into entertainment, I figured that's something we could cover in this. So Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, so here's the thing. I love music,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't listen to a lot of it. Like to be
Same.
to be straight
Sure.
up, like
Yeah.
I like good music, and I like the specific styles of music that I like. Like obviously, with being a Christian, I love listening to worship music, but I also like I'm on a big Ben Rector shtick right now. Like I love Ben Rector and stuff. But honestly, like I would have to say, for me, the most overrated music in general is just modern pop. Like
okay.
because
Yeah.
everything sounds the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
can
saying?
Can you narrow it down to a musician?
I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even do that.
If I had to, okay, because my wife and I were just talking about this. Which, by the way, the last time I was on your show, I was engaged, and now I'm over a year married, which is super.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Heck
So,
yeah.
and we're all married men.
I
Like, we've known
know.
each other
We
for all
are
this
all
time. We're all
married.
married men now,
Bizarre.
which is super crazy to think. We got some awesome wives,
Weird.
and they put up with our shenanigans.
Uh-huh.
But I was talking with my wife, and I think really, like, there's certain artists, like, for example, and I hope I don't get, like,
I got
if this podcast goes,
Oh,
I got
if
one.
this
Whatever.
podcast goes viral, like,
I know.
sorry, sue me. But, like, I
Whatever.
think Lizzo is really overrated. Like,
Okay,
she's just
yeah.
one of those artists that, like I understand that she's trendy and hip, and she's like, I do respect the fact that she's trying to go against the grain with like a lot of different stuff, but just she's not my cup. Her music is not my cup of tea, and
Yeah.
so I think she is very overrated. That would be currently that would be my choice right there.
All right.
Can I interject here?
All right.
Um,
Sure.
who's Lizzo?
No, I
Thank you.
just found out about
I don't
her.
know. I don't even know who
Because
that is.
I didn't know for the longest time. I was like, is this like a plus size model? Is she
Oh.
like, and then I
Yeah.
found out she does music, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
I couldn't tell you
Yes.
one thing.
Now,
she's
I'm not
done.
saying
but I
she's
don't know.
bad musically. But
Right.
what I'm saying is that she's
just
just very
overrated.
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 Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I get that.
I feel like people hype her up more than not her as a person, but as her
Yeah.
music. I feel like
Yeah.
her music is hyped up more than it should.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
Hmm.
All right. So Connor.
Well, I definitely have to agree. Like, as far as modern pop goes, which, how do you even define that? But everything I hear just does sound the same. And I thought a little bit about this earlier because I was like, who can I actually say? And somebody came to mind because he's always shocked me, like, how much people love him. Ed Sheeran. Ed
Dude,
Sheeran.
I was just.
That's fair. I do love Ed Sheeran. My wife loves Ed Sheeran. I think he's a brilliant songwriter.
Sure.
But I can see why you'd think that he's overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that. I just, when I've listened in terms of just difference, like standing out to the crowd, it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me. Yeah. And I don't know, for years
Which brings
now.
which brings an interesting question with you being a musician yourself.
Uh-huh.
What, like, does somebody's music that's overplayed, does that make them overrated, or like what's the line of making them overrated?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's something I've thought about too, because, for example, I've thought of some songs, and I'll even think of like overrated songs right now, like Aerosmith's "Dream On," which comes on every 5 songs on the classic rock station. It's a good song. Like, at the end of the day, it's a good song, but it's overplayed so freaking much. It's gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm sick of it. It's not a good song. Like, I got other songs like "Sweet Home Alabama." It's a feel good song.
Yeah.
But you'll hear it at every single gig in a bar.
Dark Side of the Moon.
What about Dark Side of the Moon? No.
Oh, it's played a lot here.
Oh,
so.
is it? I like Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
I like
See, this
Pink
is
Floyd.
how much. This just speaks to how little I listen to music. Like, obviously, I've listened to Dark Side of the Moon, but as soon as you said that, I thought of the song from Mulan. When it's like at the that one line, the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the like whole overplayed thing and all that.
Yeah.
So I always tell Christy, because Christy she has a tendency, like, if it's mainstream, she's usually tends you vibrating.
Yeah.
Right there?
My snare was on.
No, when things are mainstream, she usually tends to, like, dislike it. But, like, for me, there's a lot of stuff that is played a lot and might be mainstream, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And, like, I don't know. Like, Beatles, for instance, I despised them for a while because someone, my brother,
I
wanted to
remember
play
that.
it.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to listen to the Beatles
All the time.
24/7.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and I was so mad because I found, like, I kind of, like, discovered, because everyone goes through a Beatles phase.
Yeah.
If you don't, I don't know. Everyone who's into the arts or music or whatever go through a Beatles phase.
Uh-huh.
And I started going through my Beatles phase, and I found some albums at
The library.
at the library.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then Connor was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. And then he started listening to it all the time, and I was like, I didn't even have my Beatles phase because Connor just made me sick of the Beatles.
I stole it.
But I think that everybody has their own phase of a musician. Like, you guys know, I had a Michael Jackson phase.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
yes.
Like,
oh, yes.
I had a major Michael Jackson phase.
Yeah, you
to
did.
the point where, like, I would dress like him as Halloween, and
Yeah.
like I would dance like when a Michael Jackson song would come on. And to this day,
you had
actually,
it,
if I go to weddings and stuff, like,
I was gonna say you still dance to Michael Jackson.
yeah, like you
You
were at
can't
my
help
wedding.
yourself.
Like, you were at my wedding, and you saw, like, I took the
Yeah.
garter off to don't stop till you get enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, but now I've kind of obviously toned it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I feel like but everybody goes through that phase.
Uh-huh.
You know, like
Totally.
I know my sister-in-law is like really into Elvis and Billy Joel right
man.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
look, they're amazing musicians, and their
Heck
music
yeah.
is timeless. So is Michael Jackson. So is the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
think there's a fine line between something being overplayed and something
Yeah.
being overrated. Like I
Overrated.
don't think
Yeah.
necessarily
Absolutely.
that something overplayed
Is yeah.
that just makes it annoying at
Yeah,
a point. Like
you're
I
right.
don't think
I
it
agree.
makes overrated. It has to have a certain like it has to make you feel a certain way
Totally.
in order to feel, okay, this is overrated.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah.
a lot of people feel like Taylor Swift is overrated.
Yeah.
Because of her songwriting or because whatever. But I mean I used to feel that way about Taylor Swift. I actually have a bigger appreciation for Taylor Swift now.
Yeah.
But like so I guess it ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. The one that always comes to mind though for an overrated musician is, and I said this because when he said that, I texted it.
I forgot
My
already.
response, but-
yeah.
Springsteen.
Oh yeah.
Like I just
Bruce Springsteen.
is he
I
is he
agree.
bad? No, I wouldn't say he's bad, but I don't get how so many people just flip out over him.
Me neither.
Like,
yeah.
I don't get that. So that's gonna be mine.
Yeah.
He's
I think what's
Yeah.
really funny too is that you could really tell if you really want to find out from a musician standpoint like who's overrated. Just look at like with the "We Are the World" themes or the music video.
Oh my god.
Because
Yes.
you had so many artists,
was
right?
so
And it's like,
weird.
okay, you could tell who's good, and then who was like, yeah, they had a few good hits, but like, are they really that good?
yeah. Well,
Right.
let me say this too. So somebody I don't like that a lot of people like, but I understand why a lot of people might like them, is Bob Dylan.
Bob.
I
not like-
totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get
like-
that.
That's Kara.
His
Kara
songwriting is good.
hates him.
His songwriting's good, but dear goodness, I want to hear somebody else sing it.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Right.
I want to be able to actually understand it. I don't want to have to read the lyrics in order to,
Yeah.
get the song. Yeah.
And you got to look at the times
Except for,
too. Yeah. For him especially because he sort of
Yeah.
introduced the world to that folk scene and the storytelling
yeah.
through
Yeah.
just the simple
Yeah.
chords on a guitar
And
and
then-
just because it definitely was not about his singing quality, but at the same time
No.
inspiring. I think inspiring to many.
No.
to go
And
down
that's where I
down
say
that
I get it. I
direction.
can't
Yeah.
I would not
But I agree.
put him as
I agree.
overrated, but I don't
Yeah.
get how he's as big as he is.
Yeah.
Like his son sounds good. His son's pretty good,
oh,
but
I don't know
him.
if I really know of his son.
See, but that's the thing is that in the different cells. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
different
right.
because
That's
of the
true.
fact that he sounded
It's
nasally and he just sounded
Yeah.
different from everyone else. That's what a lot of people liked about Bob Dylan.
But where's the line between different and bad?
Well,
I think that's music in general and the arts in general are so subjective, though. You know, because you could say that about TV shows, like or
Yeah.
movies. Like my wife, we were just talking about this earlier, Cam. That like my wife doesn't like stupid humor movies. Like, but like people like us, like we love Nacho
my
Libre
gosh.
and
Oh, yeah.
Hot Rod and and
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber and Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like, but like my wife doesn't like that type. She likes a different type of humor, which is fine.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know.
Nah, yeah, that's
but
cool.
it's like, but I think the arts in general are so subjective.
Yeah.
You know.
absolutely.
So, but then you got those artists, especially with music, that are like really, and I talk like this, like I'm talking like I'm a music
I know, right?
aficionado, which I'm not.
Yeah.
But like,
Same.
but like for
You look at music like Milan.
yeah, like Mulan, yeah.
No, actually, Milan's pretty good.
Milan's
Sorry.
Yeah.
pretty epic. Yeah. we
Um,
can all agree on
but
that.
anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh, Mulan, Tarzan,
Tarzan.
Oh,
yeah.
Phil
Brother
Collins is
Bear,
not overrated.
like
Brother Bear.
Lion King, like four of the
Yeah.
top best Disney.
Phil
albums right
Collins
there.
is underrated. I'm just saying.
Yes.
He's underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Especially his
Yeah.
drumming ability as a drummer. He's
Yeah.
like one of the best drummers in the world. Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Agreed.
Tarzan.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But I was gonna say, like, then you have those artists who, like, for example, like, I thought that another similar to Taylor Swift, I thought that Justin Bieber was overrated for a long time because, I mean, can you get more creative than baby, 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 oh, you know? But then, like, years later, he comes out with the Freedom album, you know,
Yeah.
the EP.
Well, here's the thing. I think he was overrated. I like. I do appreciate what he's become, but the baby, 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 oh, that he was overrated then. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's good that he
was.
had the chance to kind of mature, but like,
that Freedom
I
album
wanted
slaps, though.
I wanted to kick.
See, I can't say I. That's what's hard for me, to, because a lot of me can have a lot of opinions, but have I actually ever sat down and like forced myself to listen to a whole album of these people? Because though I said like Ed Sheeran earlier, I probably sat down and
Yeah.
listened to a whole album like once, the entire time
Yeah.
I've known about him
Right.
all these years.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
like I
feel
could
like
be
if
wrong.
You can't get through an album.
I could be
though.
wrong, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
And that's the thing is, like,
Yeah.
my wife asks people for recommendations for music all the time
Uh-huh.
because she just wants something new to listen to, and she'll
Totally.
listen to something. Like, we were driving around the other day, and I'm like, "Honey, what is this?" And she's like, "Oh, this is something that somebody recommended to me. I don't really like it. I'm gonna change it now." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then sometimes she's like, "Oh my gosh, so and so sent me this song, and I love it." You know?
Yeah.
Like, so again,
Yeah.
it's the arts in general are just so
super
subjective. But
They
that's a
are.
good
And
thing.
Yeah, and like I mean, I music was not a huge thing for me for a while, and dare I say for Connor either, because I feel like we were kind of sheltered
A little bit,
in the,
yeah.
in the music arena.
At a young age.
So
for
so
sure.
like yeah, so like I would say within the past 10 years, you know,
Mhm.
I've been discovering, you know, AC/DC, Metallica. That's the kind of music I like now, you know, AC/DC, Metallica, you know, Judas Priest, whatever. But then Christy has introduced more music to me
Mhm.
that I didn't like when I first listened to it. But as time gone on, like My Chemical Romance, I like that now. You know, so you know, like there's
Right.
that kind of stuff. But I gave her a look every time it came on because I was
Yeah.
not a fan. Yeah, go ahead and tease me, Connor. I don't care.
I know. Can I say?
I listen to Cat in the Hat sounds.
I know.
I don't care what you think.
I know. Look, if I showed you all some of the music I listen to, you'd do the same judgment.
Hey,
because-
I put on jazz the other day, willingly. Like I was in the car and I was like, I'm in a jazzy mood. Yeah.
What kind of
Unpopular
jazz?
opinion:
What?
jazz is so underrated.
Okay, thank you.
No, I agree.
Absolutely.
Jazz
I
is
agree.
underrated.
That is one
Yeah.
thing. And not to put myself up here like, oh, I'm a musician and only musicians can appreciate jazz, but I've realized that's kind of the okay.
We
y'all-
just said we appreciate.
no,
jazz,
I know.
so-
But there's a whole just ocean of even subgenres under jazz, and
yeah,
you know, you've heard of like the group like Snarky Puppy, right? I know Cameron
Yeah.
has. Have you, Andrew?
I don't think I have.
No. Okay, just very fusion jam band, just like it's weird. It's weird stuff, but they are really popular among musicians. I went to a concert like 3 years ago, and the main guy was even like, "Who's all musicians here?" And like mostly everybody raised their hand because I feel like you have to have some sort of understanding, like the talent that goes into what these guys are doing,
Yeah.
especially for not
Right,
having
and certain
Yeah.
artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Certain artists like you could put that in any category, like with an actor
Yeah.
or even voice actors
Mhm.
or whatever, because like
Any
there's
category.
unless like there's certain people that follow these people like religiously, and like I was watching a really cool documentary about voice acting. I think it's still on Netflix. But some of the voice actors were like, yeah, like unless you know me and follow my career religiously, like
Yeah.
I can go out in public and be totally normal
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and live
Yeah.
a normal life, you know.
Yeah.
So certain musicians like that are like,
Yeah.
how many are musicians? Everybody raises their hands, like, okay, you got to follow that type of music in order to
Yeah.
really appreciate that, you know.
Yeah.
But so someone that really appreciates music is Jake. I know you had him on the show.
Yeah.
Jacob Woodward. He's my.
I think he was the last. He might have been the last one before before I took my hiatus.
Really?
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I call him.
He is.
Shout out to Jacob Woodward. He is Rock the Jake on YouTube.
Yeah.
But he's a super awesome guy. I call him the Virginia Cam. Not to be confused with Virginia
that guy.
Ham,
Okay.
but like the Virginia
I know who you're talking
Virginia
about.
Cam, because like he's like my friendship with Jake like flourished the same way ours did over movies and farts because meaning like farts are funny. Like we don't have a weird thing about farts. Like it's just we think farts are funny.
Weird thing.
We got that weird thing about farts.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but like that's the funny. But yeah, so like, but yeah, now Jake has been the one that's really helped flourish my film career. You know, because we both went to film school together, and now we own a business together, Lauto Media, which is we do freelance filmmaking, editing, you know, things like that in the Hampton Roads area and stuff like that. So we love it, and it's.
Sponsored.
Well, yeah, shameless plug.
Sponsor.
But
There's your
yeah.
sponsor.
Well,
Hey, actually, we can make you our unsponsored ad for this episode.
There you
We'll do
go.
that.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Heck yeah.
That was it. So
That was it. Good job. That's all you
This
got.
podcast is brought to you by Loudwood Media.
And your Buffalo Sabres. Remember that?
And your Buffalo Sabres.
Sabres.
Oh man.
See, that's the thing, man. You can put "and your Buffalo Sabres" after
After
anything.
anything. I still
Like-
do that till this day.
Like,
Yeah, I do too. I'll do it to myself because no one else gets it. So I'll just be like talking to myself. I'll be like, all right, I gotta go down Washington Avenue and your Buffaloes.
your Buffalo
or I'll be
Sabres.
like, let me grab this turkey sandwich and your Buffalo Sabres. Shout out to the Sabres too. They actually played a really good second half of the year. I'm really liking the way they're looking so far. I think they're gonna do better next year.
Cool.
For those hockey fans out there.
Heck yeah.
If you guys are in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, Loudwood Media is there for you. They take your memories on film and digitizes them so you can have them on your computer and save all that space and not worry about your film, getting ruined or anything. They also do screenwriting, filming, and editing as well. So if you're in Hampton Roads, Virginia, or in the surrounding area, look up Loudwood Media. Go like them on Facebook, and check them out. Hey, you know what? Let's ask
You know what?
Andrew that baseball question that somebody asked us.
Maybe he'll
because
know.
He's gonna have a legitimate answer.
No, wait.
I follow baseball very, very heavily. Let's go Mets.
Yeah.
First team to 20 wins this year. We are looking great. So yeah, but I've been watching baseball, playing baseball my whole life. So
Anyway.
shoot.
Before we get to that, let's finish the second part of this.
What?
Okay. Overrated movie.
Movie.
Overrated movie. So okay, I will put this in a classified as overrated, but also it's in a category for me where I straight up do not like this movie. My wife loves this movie, and I guarantee you she's probably downstairs watching this movie. Okay?
Saw 3.
No. It is
Saw
Hunt
3.
for the Wilder People.
Oh yeah, with Sam Neill,
Sure.
I don't know that one.
the dude from the Jurassic Park.
Sure. I don't know the
Yes,
movie, though.
yeah,
I
but
haven't heard of
It's
that
this guy. Basically, it's about this it takes place in New Zealand, and it's about this troubled teen who's in foster care, and this couple takes him in, but then like the woman dies, and so then like he runs away into the wilderness, and the dad, like the guy that the husband of the wife that died, goes into the woods to try to find him, but then they think that he kidnapped the kid, and so they go and like on this manhunt for these two people in the wilderness, and it's made by Taika Waititi, okay?
Yeah.
And like he did Thor Ragnarok, which is really funny,
Oh,
but
yes.
I just did
And
not.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just did not find this movie funny. She thinks it's hilarious. It's very quick, witty humor, which is fine. I've seen other movies that have quick, witty humor that I enjoy, but for this particular movie, I do not like. And that I don't that and Jojo Rabbit, which is also made by Taika Waititi.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, I liked that one.
I haven't.
See, I
watched
don't
either
find
of
those movies terribly like funny. Like there's some humor to them, but I like the movies. They're more.
It just took me a really long time. I could not get into Jojo Rabbit. I'm sorry. I just could not get into it. And Hunt of the Wilder People was just, it was very underwhelming for me. So I think that those two movies are very overrated for me.
All right.
Sure.
Fair. Connor?
Man, I'm actually having a hard time thinking of one off the top of my head right now. I'll be real. In general, there's a lot of, I would say, just like just general comedies that because like you mentioned earlier, like Nacho Libre, Napoleon Dynamite, Hot Rod, like those are like my kind of comedies right there. But a lot of like the ones with like Will Ferrell, you know, like the Step Brothers and Anchorman and all that. Like I get some of it. I know. Like some of it makes me laugh, but I feel like just that raunchy humor to me is like cheap humor. Like just because it's raunchy doesn't mean it's funny.
No,
And that's what a lot of
escalated quickly.
Like that's a good line, but it's also not raunchy. Like you know, that goes for a lot of comedies and even like stand-up comedies. It's like just
which
because
I
you're
think
raunchy,
that's why my wife, I think that's
No,
why
I-
my
Doesn't mean
wife
it's
feels
funny.
that way about those type of I think that's why my wife feels that way about those type of movies, because she feels like people are just picking the low-hanging fruit when it comes to comedy. And like it's easy access, you know what I'm saying? Get your head out of the gutter, Cam.
We're talking about raunchy comedy.
Don't get me
and you
wrong.
say
I love
picking the low hanging fruit.
Don't get me wrong. I do
on,
like
man.
raunchy humor, but I feel like because a lot of those movies are improv, and if you can pull off some good improv, it's the best thing ever. But that's where a lot of comedians go to, is just raunchy, something raunchy to make it funny. It's like, to me, you kind of lose me there. There's really not a whole lot of creativity behind that, you know.
I agree with that. I think. I mean, I find that stuff funny, but
you can be real.
There's a time and a place.
Yes,
there's a time and a place for it. You know, like if you just keep doing one thing after one thing after another, it gets old. It's like somebody, you know, telling a joke and then you laugh at it and then they keep going on with that joke and it's like, okay, stop. You know, like you're getting annoying now. But so I totally get that. I like Will Ferrell movies, but I get that. I totally.
And I'm not saying I don't, but for as much attention they get, I'm like, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I get that. I get that. My movie, I said this one in the text too, but my movie / franchise, is the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
Screw those.
Overrated.
Screw those.
And
get the out of here.
Mainly because it's just the writing is just old. It's like, okay, it worked the first time, but like how many times do you have to go vroom vroom fast car family? like And there's freaking like what, 12 of them, 13 of them.
So
There's I think 10
10 at least.
it's a lot.
if you count the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff or whatever. Yeah, I think there's
Spoiler
10
alert.
at least.
I did not see any of them ever.
That's what That's
I
what I was
saw-
about to say because I can't really
I-
draw an opinion on it because I've actually never sat
No,
down and watched a
I-
single one.
I have seen
So-
I've seen the first one, and
Okay.
I saw another one. I don't know what it was, and then Chrissy and I actually went to the theaters to see Hobbs and Shaw.
Uh-huh.
We had that pass thing, so it wasn't like we spent money to go see it.
Yeah.
But we went to go see Hobbs and Shaw. It wasn't terrible, but it was still like it's like you're playing with Hot Wheels, you know? It's like, you're playing with Hot Wheels, so you don't have the people. So then you're making your cars do things that people do, and it's like your car is not going to just hop from one cliff to the
That's a
other.
good point.
It doesn't
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
Plus, I have like
You know?
I drive a 2003 Toyota Highlander. Like my car ain't doing that. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm good to get my car out of the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So good.
Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Let's see. Before we go on, Connor, do an impression of Keanu Reeves.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. And scene. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh my god.
What else does he say though?
no.
Like really? What else? He has.
I mean,
I feel like besides like the Bill and Ted movies, he really doesn't talk a whole lot in his movies that
there's
I've really seen.
yeah.
John Wick.
I mean,
he,
John
is
Wick,
pretty
he
quiet.
just
He
just
speaks
lit
the
people
least
up
out of, like,
he did.
Yeah.
anybody. He just goes, "Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing? Good."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only memorable line where you actually heard his voice pretty well is when in John Wick when he goes, "Yeah, I think I'm back."
Oh yeah, dude. There you go. Oh, that felt so good.
So
though.
good.
Yeah, at the very end, that was the end of the third one. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm back. Oh man, when are they gonna? I'm sorry, I'm on
Next
John
year.
Wick now.
It was supposed to be this year.
Those are freaking
and they
amazing.
postponed it.
Those are.
So mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those movies so much.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah,
Quick-
me too.
Quick
I'm so stoked.
follow-up question. Quick
Okay.
follow-up question.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh gosh.
But also, what is versus? But also, what movie do you think is the greatest movie ever made? There-
Oh my
it-
goodness.
it's two different. It's two different things.
Balls.
Yeah, that's
If
hard.
you need me to go first, I will go first.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Okay. As everybody who knows me knows that my favorite movie of all time is Rocky.
Right.
Because everything in life goes back to Rocky, and it's the ultimate underdog movie, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love Stallone. That will always be forever. When I was in film school, I would always, anytime it's like write a movie, or not write a movie, but pick a movie and write about it, I was always Rocky.
Yeah.
But most people say that most people would assume that I think it's the greatest movie ever made. I do think it's an incredible movie
Yeah, I see what you
and
mean.
up there in the greatest of all time. However, in my opinion, the greatest movie ever made is Back to the Future.
Whoa.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Because it was so ahead of its time.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
people like film schools in California like actually still use the script as like a standard for how to write a script.
Dang.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
cool.
was so and you know the directors and stuff will say it was very imperfect, but I think it was so, even through its imperfections, it was so perfect. And it was like it was so ahead of its time, and like you just cannot. I personally think you can't get any better than Back to the Future.
Dang.
No.
Yeah.
That's a legit.
Because you know
Yeah.
that one's up there for
I
me. You obviously know.
Yeah.
That one's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Yeah. Man.
Do you have yours picked out?
I have one, and then it's always changing. I feel like with anything, it's
yeah.
always like your favorite
Again,
color.
it's subjective.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's always changing. Probably next year something else will come up. as of recently, and I would say this was like a big like realization for me, like as far as what my favorite movie was. It's probably gonna shock you both, but I've realized this is my favorite movie, not because it's probably the greatest movie ever made, like you said, but it's that I can sit down and I can watch it over and
Yes.
over and over again. Coraline.
Dude,
Coraline, really?
Coraline. I freaking love that movie.
Coraline rocks.
I freaking love that movie because
That
Wow.
it's
Coraline was.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
well, it's
you just got me all
I know
excited.
it's beautifully done. Really, so it's Leica, right? Leica. I mean,
However
I think
you
it's
pronounce it.
pronounced
Yeah. Leica.
Leica. Whatever they do, it's all stop motion, and it's
Yeah.
just always so beautifully done. And to me, to watch a stop motion full length feature film is just so impressive, and I just can't get my eyes off of it. So that alone
Yeah.
is just incredible to me. But also, like,
Yeah.
we've already talked about this previous episodes, just how vividly like we dream and how
Yeah.
hard it is
Yeah.
to capture what a dream looks and feels like. And Coraline
Yeah.
just does it. Like the music,
Yeah.
the scenery,
Yeah.
the story, it's so well done. And it just gives me this
Crazy.
feeling afterwards of just like, I don't know, it almost like sets this
It's not-
creative
it's not
fire off
entirely a-
in me.
Well, and that feeling is not entirely a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
I know. But it's like,
Yeah.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
But I could
I
watch
gotta
it
go
over
watch
and
that
over
again. I gotta go watch
Dude,
that again
it's
because I haven't
so
seen. I've only seen
good.
it like once, and I gotta go watch
Especially-
that again.
Especially watching it from like a like production side.
Yeah.
It's just
It's mind blowing.
it's crazy.
Anything they do is mind blowing. Like just stop motion, all
Yeah,
that.
no,
But
box trolls that they
I
did.
love that
That's-
one too.
Fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So I've realized that though, because out of all these movies with incredible, live action acting and
Yeah.
like I'll tell you right now, like my favorite director is Christopher Nolan, and just like all of his films and Hans Zimmer, but like I've realized, dude, Coraline, I don't know why I can watch like when it's over, I'm like I want to start it over and watch it all over again. It's just that good. It's that
And
good.
yeah, it's one of those. It's like I want a sequel, but a sequel would just
Probably ruin it.
You
Yeah.
can't have a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still thinking
Yeah.
of like greatest film. So if you have something, go for it. I want to still think
Okay.
if I can
All right.
still think about this.
So, man, best film ever made. I keep going back to Jurassic Park.
Okay.
That's always my go-to.
The first one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one. That's always my go-to because I would say like Back to the Future, it was ahead of its time, and it like its special effects still holds to
So
today.
true. So true.
You know, like they knew how to mix perfectly CGI and puppetry, actual effects. Just whatever. Yeah. But yeah, they blended it so well, and obviously, like I mean, I like the story. I know it was based off a book, but it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It just worked well. My favorite movies always change. It really depends on my mood. Like I said, Box Trolls is a really good one. That's something that Christy and I can always sit down and watch.
Yeah, I love that movie.
But dang, ugh.
I'm surprised you didn't say Pirates.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually
awesome.
that's my answer. Because
For your favorite movie, because you're such a big Johnny Depp fan.
I know. Yeah, I mean, you put Johnny Depp in it, then it's my favorite movie. So, no, Pirates is it's definitely up there. It just depends on my mood. Sometimes when I'm in a dark mood, a good Tim Burton movie or like Beetlejuice, that's always a win. But Pirates is a good go-to. Godzilla, if I'm wanting a monster movie, like
Yeah.
it's just
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just hard. It's hard. But I'm gonna say Pirates because,
Yeah.
and probably out of the Pirates, more specifically, I would probably go with. I really like. I'd probably say 2.
That was a
Dead
good
Man's
one.
Chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jack
that's
Sparrow, do you
Jack
fear death?
I think I've got my greatest film. This
All right.
answer might
Okay.
change, but I'm kind of going with what y'all are going as far as
I mean, you heard my
the leaps and bounds, and the common denominator here is Steven Spielberg, because Steven Spielberg, executive producer, Back to the Future, directed Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
Close Encounters of a Third Kind.
Yeah.
Such a good
one.
movie.
It's brilliant because I even watched the behind the scenes. Steven Spielberg said he made it not to be a sci-fi movie. He made it to be a drama that happened to have sci-fi elements in it. And I watched it with that whole perspective, and it really just changed my whole perspective watching it. It made me focus more just like on the acting. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss like does so well in it.
Oh yeah.
And just
Yeah.
the
It's mean
cinematography and obviously the effects for that time, I still think hold up today. Like you could do exactly what they did in that movie today, and the simplicity of it. That's what sold it. It was so simple
Yeah.
how they pulled these effects off, and you could do that today, and it would still sell me the same. And of course,
yes.
Yeah.
the end scene when they're on top, on top of Devil's Tower, like is just freaking iconic.
Yeah.
With the music and everything, and that's it's beautiful. Like, oh man, it's now I'm all hyped
Dude,
up on that one. It's so good.
I got to hear John Williams do that live.
Wow. Well, that's freaking
You
cool.
lucky son of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was.
Listening
That
to
was
John
pretty
Williams
cool.
do anything live,
Dang.
I mean, yeah.
like conduct Happy Birthday for me or something, like just anything, John Williams.
Yeah. I was just so shocked because like that's one of my favorite whatever pieces, whatever. It's just that simple,
Yeah.
or however, I love it, but I can't remember. but-
Sorry. I had to do
Yeah, yeah. But it was cool because it was like I wasn't expecting that. It's kind of a thing that's pushed aside when
Uh-huh.
it comes to his music, out of everything he's done.
Yeah.
And so, like in the concert, when I heard that, I was like,
Uh-huh. It's
Yeah,
funny
it was awesome.
we're
Yeah.
talking about this though, because I can say that was the greatest film of all time in my opinion. And then I have my favorite movie
Yeah.
I can watch over and over again. But I have my favorite director, who I told you is Christopher Nolan, which I
Yeah.
haven't mentioned a single one of his movies yet. He's my favorite director because
dude.
all of his movies are freaking
Yeah.
awesome. But
Yes.
it's just it's
That's
a
how I
weird.
feel. I mean, Tim Burton.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about Tim Burton. It's like I love Tim Burton, but
you wouldn't say he made the greatest
I
movie
can't-
or have. Yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
It's weird.
I got to be in the mood to
Uh-huh.
watch his movies,
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. Cool. So, good questions. That
Yeah.
took a chunk of time actually.
Oh, you did.
You were gonna ask me a baseball question.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
was. I'm about to. All right, here's a question. We our answers were deep and informative, but we want to hear what you said.
Yeah.
Or have to say.
I think we nailed this.
Should
one.
Major League Baseball recall the designated hitter rule in the American League, or return to the rule that pitchers must also take their turn at bat?
So I'm assuming you're asking this because this year they just changed the rule. Because how it's always been is the American League has the designated hitter, and the
Okay.
National League does it traditionally, where you have 8, and then the pitcher, who's also like the pitcher bats,
Okay.
right? They just changed it this year, where the DH is in both leagues.
Okay.
Okay, both the American League and the National League. So basically, the pitchers don't bat anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Personally, I am in favor of the rule change. I'm glad they did it. I think it was about time. And here's why. Because from a baseball standpoint, you don't want to see a guy who never gets in the cage and hits strike out every freaking time he gets to the plate, right? Now, granted, you have your like history-making moments, right? And you have certain Shohei Ohtani is your exception, okay? Shohei Ohtani plays for the Anaheim Angels.
Yes.
And
Yes,
he's
he does. I knew that.
Right.
I knew
and
that.
he play and he's your exception because he can hit really well, but he can also pitch. He's a dual player.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But like 98.5% of pitchers cannot hit. Why? Because they spend all their time focused on throwing, on pitching, on
Pitching.
being in the being in the bullpen, on working, keeping their arm loose, like making sure that their mechanics for pitching are right. They could care less about batting. Most pitchers can care less in Major League Baseball, can care less about batting. Now, granted, you'll have your history-making moments, like in 2016 when Big Sexy Bartolo Colon hit a home run, and he was like the worst batter ever. Okay,
Yeah, he sucked.
but like you'll have those history-defining moments, and I know there's the tradition of things, but the other side to it is that in addition to you don't want to see the pitchers bat because it's basically just an automatic out. Like I can't tell you how many times I'd watch baseball games and there would be 2 outs and we'd have a couple of men on base ready to score runs and the pitcher's up. It's like, oh, well, inning's over because they're just going to ground out or they're going to strike out, right? But then you also have what the DH allows to do in the National League is it allows guys that, especially people that are typically more like utility players, get more at-bats. So, like, for example, like, I'm a Mets fan, right?
Yeah.
So, the Mets have...
You are?
Yes, big Mets fan.
Wow.
I have
I didn't know.
the Mets have Pete Alonso as their first baseman, right? He's their primary first baseman. Sometimes now he DHs because he platoons with Dom Smith. Now, Dom Smith is a player who's actually really good, but up until recently, he hasn't been able to show off how well he can hit because he doesn't get as many at-bats. Now, with the DH, he actually has a slot to be put in the lineup more consistently. Right? So that's why I feel like I personally am in favor of the DH. So
yeah, that's what I said.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we settled on.
No, I
Who asked you this
your
question?
Huh?
Who asked you this question?
Was it Steve?
Friend from Michigan. Yeah, Steve.
Steve
from
All
Michigan.
right, Steve, there's your answer, man.
Yeah.
So Dark Knight
he's
was a really
in-
good movie. What? Oh, sorry.
Dude, have you seen the Batman?
Sorry.
I
I
was
did-
just about to ask you that.
I didn't mean to change the subject. I actually haven't yet. We were planning on
It's
seeing it
good.
this weekend. Just missed it. But I'm
It's
getting
legit. I waited for a
I've heard
while
it's good.
because it's a longer movie, and I was like, another.
It's on
Batman.
HBO Max now, so you could watch it on
Yes.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
yes.
But
But,
I will say this, and I will say this without spoiling it for you, because I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. But one of the things that I really appreciated.
Batman dies.
Shut up. No. One of the things that I really appreciated was the fact that you saw a different time in Batman's life.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Because the movie takes place where Bruce Wayne has been Batman for only like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see certain things without me going into detail. You'll notice this when you watch it, but you notice certain things that make sense because he's only been Batman for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
And I actually appreciated the movie so much better because I didn't want to go into it because I think The Dark Knight is superior.
Yeah.
I think The Dark Knight is like the best Batman movie ever made.
Yeah.
mainly because of Christopher. I mean, Christopher
Cameron?
Nolan did an amazing job. Christian Bale did an amazing Bruce Wayne, and
Of course.
Heath Ledger,
Yes.
legendary. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
but
I agree with that.
what's nice about it
Cameron.
is that I went into it not putting The Dark Knight as the standard, like not trying
Yeah.
to compare it. I tried to just
Yeah.
really keep an objective point of view of it, and it
Yeah.
really made me appreciate the movie more.
Yeah.
So you'll really enjoy it, Connor, when you go
No,
see it.
it really is good. It's a good. The soundtrack was good.
Mhm.
It was
like-
shot really well. Like
Yeah.
it's
really
aesthetically
good.
pleasing.
I
to
haven't
look
heard
at.
a single bad thing about it, so I'm excited because
Yeah.
it's about time DC steps up a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of DC, I saw them post. Okay, so I know this has been almost a weekly thing now, but screw it.
What is it?
So Amber
Yes.
Heard. DC. I saw that DC said they would not promote Aquaman 2 unless they took Amber Heard out.
Wow.
Oh, so not promoted. Okay.
Yeah. DC Entertainment said we will
Dang.
not promote. Yeah.
Because it's
so I
DC
don't know how.
and then Warner Brothers, right? I mean, they're kind of
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Hi, Christy.
Sneaking into the laundry room.
Butch,
there.
this is a good segue, and I know I'm your guest, but I know this is not typical of asking questions
Do
to
it.
hosts, but I think it's a good point to make now because like this is honestly the first time I was talking to Cam about this earlier. This is the first time that we are like together in a semi-social setting
Yeah.
as married men. Like the last
Uh-huh.
time we were single AF.
Yeah.
Like the last time we were all like together like in a semi-social setting.
Right.
So
right.
like
All right.
What's- so-
what's AF?
there's children listening to this, Cam, so we don't have to worry about
Cameron.
that. Just
if you know, you know. That's all.
right. We were very
Apples-
single. We were very
Apple's
single.
finesse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apple phalanges.
Interesting. You learn
Yeah.
something new every day.
But anyway, so I guess the question is, what's the coolest thing that you've learned being married?
Oh man. Yeah.
Because I know, like, Connor, you've been married a short time.
The coolest thing,
Well,
or
I mean, okay, we can rule out one thing.
I'll tell you something pretty.
Yeah,
cool
we can
that-
rule out one thing.
We can rule that out.
We can
No, but I
rule
mean,
out
like,
one thing.
there's- Right. Right. But, like, the coolest thing that you learned about being a husband and, like,
Yeah.
being in a marriage.
Well, I said this last time, just having our wives on here. Just the fact that I can 100% be myself all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
all the time. Like that to me is just the biggest relief ever. Not to say when I was with my roommates, you know, I would say I was myself most of the time, but there was even some things
Yeah.
I had to withhold myself from. But with her, I'm just like all out. We get weird, like
Let it.
I'm telling you, our humor is so weird when we're together, but
Oh,
it's
that
awesome.
kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh.
but we can also just talk about anything, and we can communicate about anything. It's awesome, and
Yeah.
you know, I even recently, you know, spiritually, it's sometimes like we're hearing the same things. You know, if we have an idea
Yeah.
and we bounce something back off each other, it's like something in our spirit just leaps inside of us, and it's cool to do that with somebody. You know, it's like, because especially as a single guy, you're just like, all right, what am I gonna do with my life? You know, I have my friends now, but at some point I gotta figure this out, right? I gotta figure something out. You know, what's a business idea? But now it's like, all right, we're doing this together. You know, and there's just that security.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing life together,
Yeah.
so sky's the limit on that. And I think that's just so cool. You know, I know it's kind of a vague answer, but
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
That's good.
that's what's on my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Christy
real
just
cool.
got cold. The AC just kicked on.
Well, I think
Or sorry. got
Carol
hot.
Carol was watching a show I'm pretty sure she just paused it to listen to what I was saying. Because I can't hear it in the background anymore.
That's funny.
She's in the other room watching King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to start watching that again.
Oh my gosh.
Your turn.
Let's see. Before I answer, Andrew, so we do a thing on the show where we randomly ask each other to do an impression,
Sure.
and it's expected to be bad.
That's fine.
So, because it's on the spot, I would like an impression of Weird Al from you.
Weird Al, huh? All right. Let's see. Don't wanna be a Canadian idiot.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah, good.
He
Good
did.
job.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was
Nice.
good.
I want to see that movie. That movie's coming out. Daniel Radcliffe plays him.
Oh yeah, I know. It's on like Roku. I
Oh,
don't
It's a
know.
Roku
yeah.
exclusive. Yeah.
Forgot about
Right.
that.
I don't know if that's something you got to pay for or what, but
I have the entire Amish Paradise. Well, yeah, that. But I also have White and Nerdy. I have that whole rap memorized.
I believe
Oh
it.
man.
There's a whole
I
rap
believe
memorized.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I think, yeah, I remember that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cameron, quit
Anyway.
stalling.
Yeah. Sorry. The let's see, something cool that I've learned while being married is I think one of the things for me is like we have kind of I don't know, our life, I feel like our married life was a little different than most, where we were still kind of in a limbo place when we got married. We didn't know what we were doing.
Does anybody?
Well, I
I-
mean, like housing wise and stuff like that. Like we were just kind of we were in an odd place. There were some struggles there that I feel like a lot of people don't deal with when they're first married. So we were in a weird place. But I feel like our honeymoon phase, from what I know, is starting to take effect, and it's kind of been going in reverse to where we were like married, but we were kind of distant in a weird way, and we got in fights a lot. And then, like, as time has gone on, we were kind of like getting more lovey-dovey and like flirty.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but like it's kind of cool because I'm kind of glad. Kind of.
Kind of.
I'm glad
you know
it
what?
happened.
You know what?
Yeah.
But you know what?
But it's
You know what?
cool because it's happened in a way to where I feel like now we're on this trajectory of just kind of continuing that and like like almost like strengthening that.
You're dating each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it
yeah.
should be,
but
honestly.
we have free reign this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like, you know,
Yeah.
we don't have to watch what we do.
Right.
But yeah, it's been cool. I like that, and it I don't know. Every day I truly do feel like I love her more than the day before. So
Yep.
it's been neat.
That's how it should
Yeah,
be, man.
that's something cool that
Mhm.
I've learned.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've only been married to Rachel for a little over a year now because we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary in March. And
Crazy.
I know. And that's the thing, man, is that I think the biggest thing that I learned is that I learned that I am capable of.
I'm sorry.
I'm about to go
listening.
really deep, my guy.
He
I
always
know, I
does this.
know.
He does this every single podcast. I
I
tell you.
know.
I'm in the middle of something
Okay.
good, and he's like, "Oh, I just heard a gunshot outside."
Squirrel.
Yeah, I'm like, dang it, Cameron.
I am my mother's child. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm
Random
sorry.
impression of
I'm
your
sorry.
mom laughing. Oh, I love Kay. I love Kay.
She does listen to this, so
That's amazing. Oh, I
Oh,
can't
yes.
wait to hear that back.
Oh,
Right.
I love it. Then she'll go,
okay.
she'll go,
Yeah. And then
Spot on.
he starts coughing. All right, sorry, Andrew. Go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna be serious this time.
No, the
promise.
coolest thing about is that I learned the capability that I learned that I'm capable of loving somebody more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And like, because I think about past relationships that I had before Rachel, and I thought that I knew how to love somebody. I thought I knew what love was. And then, like, the love that I felt then versus the love I feel now for Rachel, it's two completely different loves, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I do things for her because I love her, and I know her on an intimate level where, like, I know that she works long days right now in this season. She works really long days. And so, like, if I could come home and do the dishes and have them done and, you know, all that type of stuff, just so that I can bless her like that. Like, I do that because I love her. And I go out of my way to encourage her and support her. And she's so creative. And the thing is that she is everything that I didn't know I wanted. And I feel like you guys can echo that with your wives because I think about, because you knew me in high school and you knew the type oh God, you knew me in high school. And,
I knew you in high school.
You knew the types of girls that I liked. You knew my type, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is like I grew up thinking that was what I was going to end up with. And what's ironic is not only did I never dated anybody that remotely resembled who my type was. But Rachel was everything I didn't know I needed and didn't know I wanted. You know, out of somebody. Like, everything she is, like, she feels, and this goes back to Rocky. Like I said, everything goes back to Rocky. There's a line in Rocky where he's talking to Paulie and he's like, Adrian fills my gaps, you know. I fill her gaps, she fills my gaps, you know. And that's the thing, is like the things that she's good in and I'm not, she does that. She fills that gap for me. And then like the things that I'm good in and my strengths and things that she's not as strong in, I get to fill that gap for her, and it's such a cool feeling. So that's probably the coolest thing that I've learned being married. And obviously being married has its perks in many ways, but just I love just coming home to her and knowing that she's my person, and this is my place of peace and zen after a long day's work or after a busy schedule or whatever. Like, I know that I can find rest being with my wife, you know? So
I agree
that's the coolest thing that I learned about so far. And I'm so excited for where God leads us, you know, in the future as we pursue different different things in our career and looking to start a family eventually, and, you know, and all that. So it's a lot of fun. You know, it's an entire can of cool beans, if you want to put it so bluntly.
Cool.
I agree, man. That's awesome.
Cool.
So, but God has been good, and the thing that I'm most grateful for is just how long us three have been able to sustain a friendship. You know, and
Dude.
I mean, most people can't. I always say I could count my closest friends on one hand, you know. And that's as the old saying goes. And you guys have been just like rock solid friends for me.
Yeah,
you know?
No, totally. You too.
Yeah.
I want to hit on that real quick. I want to, I guess, brag. Um, everyone needs an Andrew in their life because Andrew has been he's been like he's been there when I was in my deepest depression.
Yeah.
And I'm sure heard a lot of crap and probably just wanted to smack me around and be like, just shut up. He's also been there rooting for me with my wildest dreams, some that have come true, some that have not, some that I'm still working on. But he's always been encouraging. He is somebody. His wife is very lucky, blessed, I should say, because he knows how to treat a woman. And screw all the women that put him down in the past, because he knows how to treat a woman. He is someone. He is someone that my own wife has used as an example and said, "Hey, why can't you be more like Andrew?"
Dang.
Wow.
Yes,
I knew I
yes.
loved Christy. I knew I loved her.
No,
Nice.
Andrew knows how to compliment a person and mean it, and yeah, it's just an all-around good person. I've always been able to be myself around you, and yeah, you really are like one of a kind friend that I would dare I say most people will never find. And yeah, I think we were very fortunate in becoming friends.
If I could say,
and you probably got the short end of the stick.
no,
sorry.
no. I mean, I know you two are definitely the buds, but like,
Yeah,
just their entire family, like to this day.
true.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, we've been out of Buffalo since, I mean, it's been almost, what, 13 years almost. And,
Wow. Yeah.
but like till this day, it's just crazy. Just, no, we don't talk all
Yeah.
the time. Like, it's like,
No.
it's just so cool. Like, even with Kara knows, you haven't even met Kara. She knows all of you.
Same with Christy.
If I mention Joe Lauto, she's like, "Oh yeah, Joe, that's Andrew and Julia's dad." Or she'll,
Yeah.
you know, Facebook friends like, "Oh yeah, that's Angela."
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I know. That's that's Andrew and Julia's
Yeah.
mom." It's just like it's
Yeah.
it's always been that way. It's always been that way.
And has always
so
been
cool.
welcoming.
Yeah.
And like I mean, I know the last time I visited.
It was last March for my wedding.
Yeah, but
Not
it was
this past
I mean, it
March,
was,
but March 2021.
yeah. It was a good like there was a good chunk of time between the last time I visited and the time before
Yeah.
that, and like I walked into your parents' house and it was just like nothing changed. It's like I came over yesterday. Like
yeah.
there's just
Yeah.
there's not like your family's very welcoming and the Lauto family, and heck, I mean even your Nana.
My nanny.
Nani, Nani, yeah.
That's what
Like,
I mentioned.
man, I will never.
She
I
still
mentioned-
talks about this. She talked to because she's staying with us, or not? She's staying with my parents right now for the past
Yeah.
couple months, and she still talks about that. She goes, "Oh, Cam, he never going to forget that plane ride," and then like sometimes she'll forget stuff, so I'll mention your name, and she's like, "Who's Cam?" And I'm like, "The guy on the plane." Oh yeah.
I don't know this story.
Okay,
No,
so I went to Virginia for Andrew's graduation, and
From college.
from college, yeah. And so we went there, and then we were planning on going to Buffalo and spending some time there. So he had his graduation, and we hung out in Virginia a bit, and then his grandma came down for the graduation as well. Well, we all flew back together. So it was
We flew early because my parents were driving up with my sister,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and so
Okay.
we flew up early because I guess we wanted to get Nani back at a particular time or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we, Andrew, is Nani, and we all flew back together. And so
No way.
one of the gates, the flight changed. And so we booked it all the way there, and Nani, she's older, so she was struggling, and then we got to the gate, and they're like, oh, it changed back to the other one, and Nani, she threw out some words.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot what they
she
were.
was like,
Some words
I
in
don't know if I can
Italian.
say it, but she's. Yeah, swear words in Italian, and damn sons of bitches, and all that stuff. You can bleep that out. You can bleep that out. But,
it's okay.
But it was funny. Yeah, they she was doing that, and I was like, Nani, you want to get on my back? I and I was dead serious. I was like, I'll carry you. We can Yoda this,
Yeah.
and. And she was like, no. And so,
then we finally get
made
on the
it to-
plane, and it's taken forever to people to board and all this
Yeah.
type of stuff. And so Cam and I were bored, and so we just started singing "Afternoon Delight" on the plane.
I forgot about
Nani is cracking up, and literally we started singing it, and it was like an Anchorman moment. People behind us started singing it, like when everything's a little clearer in the light of day.
Oh,
and
we
the
got-
whole plane starts singing "Afternoon
Yeah.
Delight." The flight
Yeah.
attendants are dancing in the aisle. It was.
What?
She's cracking up. My Nani is
That's
cracking up.
amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh, I
it's
had
like,
no
she
idea
will
this
ne-
happened.
She till this day, she never. That happened back in 2016. She has never forgotten
Yeah.
that plane ride.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, I wouldn't either.
It-
that was a moment.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
that was
but-
a moment.
But no, like
Yep.
my family loves you guys, and I mean, I can echo the same thing. Like, the Belt family is so special to us. I mean, your dad was my youth pastor growing up, and he was fundamental in my walk with Christ, and I still believe that to his day. I got to tell it to his face recently, and it was just it was such a cool thing to just tell him that after all these years that he was helped fundamental, in my
Yeah.
in my faith.
Yeah.
And just you guys and your mom is just was like a second mom to me, like all these years. She's so funny and goofy and just going over to your house for cookouts, and
Yeah,
I've
man,
literally
I
I
miss
will never
that.
forget this. Julia and I, my sister
Yeah.
Julia and I talk about this all the time, that there was a time one summer where we literally saw each other every day for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was like we went over. It was like we alternated. Like you guys came to our house, and the next game we came over to your house. Like our families have always been that close.
Yeah. Oh.
And
Oh,
Connor
did we lose?
left, but
I just lost
okay,
We,
what the heck?
we lost Connor.
But anyway,
Oh, you know what? I bet his computer died on him.
What is going on?
Connor. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
but anyway, yeah, you can edit this. But anyway, it's just you guys have been just such instrumental people in our lives, and just people that we love and cherish so much, and how can I not
the
support
crap.
you guys and what your dreams and goals, and it was because I know that you had some tough times with a tough start of it when you and Christy got married, and just due to circumstances I had to watch your wedding virtually, but I was
Yeah.
like the freaking hype man, dude. I'm like shouting at my computer screen. I'm like, yeah, and then I'm so stoked that Connor's married now, and I can't wait to
Yeah.
meet his wife too, and it's just it's incredible, man. It really is, just to see how far we've come, so
I lost
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Where the flip did Connor go? Not even texting me. Yeah. It's cool. Our friendship is definitely one of a kind. Even like you said, with our families and everything, it's not something many people find. So very
Yeah.
fortunate to have that.
And I echo your kind words in saying that everyone needs a Cameron belt, because as much as I, got him out of his shell, he mellowed me out in a lot of ways too. But we always just stayed together as friends. And I mean, obviously Connor lives in Texas. You lived in Texas for a while, and then moved to California. And now you're back in Indiana, and I'm in Virginia. I'm in Virginia Beach, and we can still stay connected. Through all of this time that's gone by. It's just it's a huge blessing, and I'm excited to see you guys in person again.
Oh.
There he is. He's back.
Here I am. What the crap?
Skype doesn't like Connor tonight.
Dude, it doesn't. It literally just logged me out for no reason.
It's like, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done. That's crazy.
Oh.
Anyway, do y'all just keep talking or what?
Yeah, no, I was just...
Andrew just told the craziest story.
Dang.
No.
Just all here
No,
back.
I was just sharing the fact that, like, your family has just been so amazing to me and my family. Like, and like I said before, we went 3 weeks with just literally seeing each other every day, and that's how close we were. And
right.
So it's amazing how far we've come, and all this time. You're in Texas, he's in Indiana, I'm in Virginia Beach, and
It's crazy, yeah.
and it's and you can still stay connected after all these years, and I can't wait to meet your wife and
I know, man.
and tell her all the Beanie Boy stories that I have, and because literally, ladies and gentlemen, like Connor's voice did not always sound this manly and sexy. It literally was like, it used to be like 3 octaves higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Before the drop.
And then now he sounds like James Earl Jones' white guy version. But
Oh my gosh. Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I think that about does it for our time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we've already gone this long.
I know they went by fast today.
It did.
Tonight.
Hey,
Yeah.
time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, this won't be the last time.
Cool.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
dude.
we'll
Absolutely
have
not,
you
man.
back on.
Well, thank you guys for having me on, and I really appreciate it. And I hope
Yeah.
everybody that listens to us doesn't cringe, but gets some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
And it's
Totally.
it's always great talking to you guys. You always fill me with joy, and I'm always encouraged by talking to you guys and laughing.
Yeah, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. So, well, this is
Well, cool beans.
But let's go again. That's all, folks.